Hi, fellow humans. Thought I'd tell you another story. I'm full of stories. You know how kids, everybody now, it seems to be obsessed with these really expensive purses that are like 23,000 and on up. And they have special little places in their closet for them. Same thing about tennis shoes and many other things. Okay, now when my kids were teenagers, this was, in the 90s, I think it was, yeah. And they had all the name brand clothing and tennis shoes and everything, just like they have now. And of course, my kids wanted them. Well, we were poor. We couldn't afford that stuff. That stuff costs, double than other stuff, So I thought I'd use a little reverse psychology on them, on my kids, and it absolutely worked. And it worked so good, they started telling their friends what idiots they were for buying this stuff. Okay, this is what I did. My son was wearing a Tommy Hilfiger shirt with his name on it. It was red, white, and blue thing on it. It was really a pretty shirt. It was nice. And he wanted that. I got it for him. And then I asked him, he was wearing it one day, and I looked at him, and I said, hey, do you know who Tommy Hilfiger is? He said, no. I said, do you know what he looks like? No. I said, then why are you wearing his name on a shirt? I mean, you must be his #1 fan if you want to wear shirts with his name on it. And he thought, not really. And I thought, well, isn't that silly that you would choose to put on a shirt? Why didn't you just say, put on a shirt that says Bobby Smith? You don't know him either, but it didn't cost you as much if you just get a shirt and write it on or something. And I said, but it seems kind of silly to be wearing name stuff when you don't even know who these people are, and you're going to pay more for it and make them rich, by the way. And he started thinking about it, and Heidi thought about it, my daughter. They thought, yeah, that doesn't make sense. And I said, yeah, let your other friends buy all that stuff. Let them go broke buying that. And at that time, we didn't have really computers and stuff, or I'd have pulled up a Tommy Hilfiger picture. But, yeah, I just told him, no, you don't need to have that stuff. You don't, who are you trying to impress? I said, these kids, the chances are that you'll know these kids in 20 years is probably pretty slim, the way the world is going. And so you paid extra money to have a name shirt to impress people that you probably won't see again for the rest of your life. And they started thinking about it. I mean, they really thought things out. My kids, when I'd put a little something in there, they questioned everything I did and everything I said, believe me. So that's just my little ditty. And from then on, they didn't want any of these name brand things. They thought it was silly to pay extra for it. And I still feel the same. I watch these people that buy this one particular pattern of purse. And it's all the same pattern. It's just different styles of it. And it's not even a nice pattern. It's just dull. I don't know. I don't get any of that. And so that's how I got my kids to stop. I don't know. If you can get your kids to stop, good luck. We are consumers to the max. But the way things are going, we're going to have to learn how to start printing your own name on your shirts and stuff. Good Lord. They said this morning Walmart's going way up in prices. Now, I don't go to Walmart anymore. There's one thing that I can't get elsewhere, and I've looked for it. I even ordered it online, and I still couldn't get it. So I do have to go there and get, one particular thing. But other than that, I mean, go to a thrift store. You can buy 15 shirts at a thrift store, although they're getting expensive too. I've got a bone to pick with them. There's one particular one here in town, though. They have racks outside, and all the racks outside are $1. And that's where I get most of my shirts now. I think this was there. I know this one was. So even that blanket right there, thrift store, $7. And that's a big old fluffy comforter thing. Brand new in the little thing, in the plastic. It was 12, but when I got up the register, the old man saw me counting my money, and he says, "Oh, look, there's a little piece of dirt right here." And he says, "I think it should be $7. And I said, "Oh, I do too." I seem to be lucky in that respect. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you that little ditty about telling my kids that, and they started telling their friends how foolish they were for doing the same thing, by the way. They never asked me for another name brand. Well, they made their own money, you know. They worked in the circus too, and they made money. And then I think they got an extra $50 a week for picking up trash after the circus. The owner came and asked me if that'd be all right if they did that, if he offered them that job. And I said, "Oh, they'd love it, believe you me." So they made money. My kids made money, and they bought what they wanted, toys, books, you name it. So, once they started really earning money, it was a little different. It always is, isn't it? Anyway, have a good day, everybody, and try not to let all the prices and things going on in the world go make you crazy. It kind of made me crazy for a little while, but now I'm just riding the whole roller coaster, trying to figure out when do I get off. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.